Hi, welcome to Film Files. Today I wanted to talk about Queer. The film by Luca Guadagnino, based on the book by William S. Burroughs, is kind of a mood piece, and it's kind of hard to judge how a mood piece works on film. There are directors who are very adept at maintaining a tone and theme of a film, and it doesn't really matter what the scenes are because you're following an overarching theme, and that's what the movie is really about. And that's what this movie tries to be about, but it doesn't do it quite as well as films by Terrence Malick or Richard Linklater would do it. Guadagnino is an excellent director. I'm a fan of his previous work, but this one didn't quite work for me. It was a bit too long. It was quite repetitive, and narratively, there wasn't really much to bite my teeth into. That being said, the aspect of this film that everybody's talking about is the acting. I thought the acting was great. Overall, very strong, but no excellent performances. Daniel Craig was quite good, but maybe a little bit overhyped in this role. He did a fine job. I think there are other roles like Munich that he did a significantly better job in. Leslie Manville was the highlight for me in this film. Her performance is great. She only gets about 10 to 15 minutes of screen time towards the end of the film, and she really does a lot with it. I don't want to give anything away because a very important scene occurs once the characters meet her, so I don't want to get into the plot of the film because the plot is already quite thin, and giving it away, there isn't going to be much left. The look of the film, between the production design and the cinematography, it doesn't look like any of the scenes in this film were really shot in any real locations. It kind of feels like a 17th century Flemish oil painting. And that might have been the point because the film does revolve significantly around this ayahuasca trip. And I feel like Guadagnino just went for a theme where the whole movie was supposed to feel like an ayahuasca trip, and you don't really know what you're watching is true to the narrative of the film or if it's the interpretation of the main character and his various escapades in his own mind as he's growing older. So there is a bit of ambiguity there, and I think maybe they thought that the visual style would work towards that part of the narrative, but for me, it didn't really work. It looked quite fake. It looked extra saturated, especially the bar where the majority of scenes occur in this film. It feels overly designed and doesn't feel authentic or as a real space where real characters would hang out. It feels like a novel, and I think that's what they were going for, is to try to represent the mood of the novel in film, and it doesn't work at all. A major chunk of the film is the hallucinogenic experience under ayahuasca that the main characters go through, but I feel like the psychedelic trip by two main characters is portrayed significantly better in a variety of other movies. This one feels like a rehash of different tropes of drugs that you would have seen before and not anything unique or specific to the character. And it didn't really work for me. This entire last hour of the film felt like it was dragging on a bit, and it was kind of put on just to serve the purposes of portraying the scenes that occur in the book and not really to work as a narrative for film. Another highlight for me was the original soundtrack from Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who are my favorite composers. So, of course, I'm going to connect with their material. It created a really good mood, and I would listen to the soundtrack outside of just watching the film. So that's a sign of a good soundtrack for me. I mean, I know it's supposed to blend in to the film itself, so you don't really notice it, but you definitely notice it, and in a good way. You do notice it in a good way. I did not care for the Nirvana All Apologies song at the beginning of the film, even though there's a line that says everyone is gay, and it did get a laugh from the audience, but I don't think it really works in this particular movie. So I'm not sure why they used it. I know it's a popular song, but wasn't really the right fit, I think. But anyway, that's my take on this movie. If you are interested in watching mood pieces, then maybe this is something you should check out. But for everyone else, I would say probably a pass. Thank you.